What's going on, guys? Back working on the HEMI Swap Jeep Renegade, aka Project HEMIgade, where we're combining the chassis and drivetrain of a Charger with the body of a Renegade. And as you can see, things have gotten a little out of hand since last time. Went ahead, dropped the engine, drivetrain, suspension, everything off the front end, blasted it apart so we can get ready for sheet metal, tubbing in the wheel wells and the firewall. Anyway, let's go ahead, jump right into it. Here we got the 3D scan dropped into Fusion 360, and you can see we got passenger side wheel well, strut tower area, back side of the firewall, and driver side wheel well here. Biggest issue that I'm running into is this wide open section here between the strut tower and the firewall, and pretty much just tying everything in. There's nothing connecting strut to the wheel well, and driver side, passenger side, same thing. This section of the frame was chopped out just to get it out of the way for the wheel, because the suspension, strut tower, everything got moved back about 4.5 inches, and it was making contact with that. So figure chop it out, get it out of the way. But now we got a bunch of open holes, and it's kind of difficult to get flat sheet metal into curved openings. So you can see here, go ahead, I'll drop this passenger side in. It's all just flat sheet metal here. Bent in the middle, cut, bend. Everything's just pretty basic geometric shape. Flat pieces, and it's just tabbed, bent over. Nothing really crazy, but doing this by hand with cardboard would have been pretty difficult. I tried on the driver's side, and it just was not working out. But it's kind of difficult to see what's going on here. But I'll go ahead and turn this into a flat pattern. It's one of the things that Fusion 360 does, and it allows me to send this to the CNC plasma table. Cut all this out, and be good to go. I put these slots in so I can bend it by hand, because I do have a sheet metal bender and a hydraulic bender, but trying to get this complex shape into it, I really don't think it's going to happen. So anyway, go ahead, check out the driver's side. Where is it? There it is. And pretty similar. I do have to accommodate for the brake booster, so it's slightly different, and just doesn't extend in quite as far. The passenger side ducks in about an inch further. You can see it's closer to the frame. You know, I think it'll be all right. And also, this section here, I had to find a place to mount the PCM. So the Charger, this is pretty much the same spot that the PCM is mounted in the Dodge Charger, but it's mounted vertically instead of horizontally. So this would be turned up 90 degrees. There's not a whole lot of room for me to put anything anywhere, but this is the only place I was able to make it fit. You know, and just a couple bolts, run it through, and should hold it pretty sturdy. We've got a pretty good idea of what we're going to be doing, turning, you know, basic flat pieces of sheet metal into semi-complex geometric shapes. They'll fill in these holes as good as possible and give us little mounting points as well. Anyway, I guess we'll go ahead, send this to the plasma cutter, and cut out some parts. Got the firewall frame section cleaned up here. Got that squared up, extra metal cut off, and then down to the actual firewall. And had to get a straight cut on this. Had a bit of a curve there, so got that, as you can kind of see, it had a flange on it. Had to cut that off. So we'll be able to butt our new metal up to here, nice and clean. I guess we'll go ahead and try to put this in one-handed. Here's the metal, pre-bent. Turned out pretty good. And there we go. All right, so you got really good contact. I'll be able to weld right in here, weld up underneath, weld to that flange, get all up in there. All these seams, the folds, I'm gonna weld those up when it's on the bench. Grind them smooth and all that, make it look good. Might open this up a little bit so I can get some contact behind there to the panel, much like that. I mean, it's not really structural, it's just holding this together, but you know, it is going to tie the strut tower in with the wheel well, tied it into the frame, firewall, all that. Going to secure everything real nice. Got a little bit more of a gap here than I expected, but I'm going to leave that open anyway just for drainage. You can see the factory, it was wide open anyway. But yeah, I had to go ahead clear this out here because, as you can imagine, the strut tower was about 4.5 inches forward. It had to get moved back so it'd be, you know, centered in the wheel well there. So we were hitting here when the wheel was at full lock, so I think it's going to be good. Now just going to have to go through, start welding it up. Got to jump on the driver's side too, but good proof of concept. Let's go from there. So I went ahead and pre-cut this piece of sheet metal here, sprayed it on the back so it doesn't rust. But this is the original flange coming off of the Renegade dash, and this is the Charger firewall. When I originally cut it out, I wasn't being too careful. I was just kind of hacking everything out of the way to get it out of the Charger. I messed up, and now I have probably maybe a ½ inch gap, anywhere between a ½ inch to like maybe even a 1 inch gap right around here. So what I'm going to do, weld this in. Okay, it's going to be on the bottom side. Alright, there's it. So what I'm going to do, weld this in along the bottom of that flange, butt it up against these two frame rails on the sides, and I'm going to have to come back and fill this little gap here. I got a strip of metal there that I'm going to be using, but we'll do what we can for right now. Closer look at the firewall. Went ahead, got this top filler panel welded in, and the little filler strip filled that gap in pretty nice. Nice and smooth, and this thing is solid now. No flex. Ooh, wasps. All right, yeah, so we got no flex coming off of here anymore. Nice and solid. Should be good to go. I also went ahead, tacked it in from the underside. And, ooh, get out of here, dude. All right. So, all right, here's a look at the underside. Pretty solid. Still gonna have to seam seal everything up, prime it all up and whatnot. Ooh, and there's a look at the ECU mount. Just kind of loose bolted in there now. But this is where the ECU or PCM is gonna mount. Pretty much stock location of the charger, but charger was mounted vertically. Space-wise, I had to put it, horizontally here, left to right instead of up and down. And hopefully I have enough room for the harness. If not, we're gonna have to cut into that as well. Not a whole lot I can do, just dealing with space constraints. But, I mean, she's looking pretty good. Get back here, dude. Go, come on. Did I get him? Oh, there he is. Got him. All right, back to business. So, anyway, I think that'll wrap this video up. Went ahead, got a bunch of the firewall knocked out. Wheel wells, like 99% done. Still got a little bit on both corners. But, I mean, this really felt like a huge setback at the beginning where I had to drop everything out. I'm down to bare bones again, like back to step one, square one, But, had to do it. If not, wouldn't have gotten any further on this project. So, dropped the engine out, got that out of the way. While it's out, in the next video, I'll be throwing on new exhaust and maybe jump into the transmission a little bit, see what happens there. But either way, next, before I throw the engine back in, how it's all spotted primer, bare metal, bunch of different colors going on here. Want to know what y'all think as far as finishing in here. Do I just do, rattle can black like I've done the front bash bar? I do kind of want to do spray and bed liner, black bed liner. It would hide a lot of the imperfections, a lot of, where I welded stuff together. It doesn't quite look perfect. I also have color match bed liner that I can go F8 green. It's a Dodge factory color. That's the color I'm going to paint the Renegade when it's all done. It'll be a little while, so it might look kind of goofy if this is green in the engine bay and black on the outside for now, but either way, just let me know what you think. Still got a little bit of time to make that decision. But anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow along with the rest of the build. See you in the next one.